My good friends, it is the Doctor, Dr. Remy LeBeau, as y'all know me, in the X-Lair, coming at you once again with a very impressive classic piece. This is the Bowen Designs Dark Phoenix statue. Probably one of the coolest statues ever produced in the history of mankind. One of the coolest statues ever produced by Bowen Designs, and one of the coolest statues of an ex-villain ever produced. Um, of course, you can see back here, there's Mr. Sinister. That's also another one of the coolest statues. I'll be featuring you very soon, my friend, Nathaniel Essex. But for now, I want you guys all to sort of feast your, enjoy this feast for the eyes, the feast for the eyes that is the Dark Phoenix statue produced by Bowen Design. So this is actually, it's actually about almost 10 years old. Maybe it's longer. Let's give it a check, shall we? I'm pretty sure it was sculpted by Mark Newman. Let me see. Okay, so sculpted by Mark Newman, correct. This was actually released in 2000. So this is a 13-year-old statue. There were 4,000 of these produced. This is 1,222. So there were 4,000 of these produced. So although it's like a beautiful piece and it's probably, not that easy to find nowadays, like at least one in good quality that, collectors haven't put into their permanent collection, like it's still like it's out there. It's available to people that want it. Because there were 4,000 made. But there's going to be a point in the future where you're not going to be able to find this statue ever. Because, there's a lot of stuff that's always produced. And even if it's limited, if it's not of good quality, if it's not something that actually does, achieves what is intended by the producer, then, there isn't, the demand for it isn't that high. This particular statue, it just surpassed the goals of Mark Newman and Randy Bowen. Like, it is the Dark Phoenix in all her freaking glory. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's everything that a Dark Phoenix statue should be. I can't give it enough compliments. I've maybe given it too many compliments at this point. It's okay though, because she deserves them. And also she's like super powerful and evil, and I don't want to upset her because, she'll burn me to a crisp with but a thought. She's capable of doing that. She actually destroyed like a whole like solar system full of like millions of people, or aliens, or like a whole civilization, just on a whim. The magnitude of her power is just awesome. This statue captures that really well. Like it captures, like, the base is super impressive. You can see it's like the Firebird, which is like emblematic of who the Phoenix is, and sort of represents like her demonstrating her power. And what it actually is that there's like this Phoenix force, which is like this galactic force that travels through the universe and actually takes on that like sort of Firebird form. And when she possesses Jean Grey, it's inside of Jean Grey, but like, her power is sort of manifested as sort of like, when it does manifest, it does come out as in this Firebird form, which is very cool and looks really great in the comic books and looks really great in this statue, as you can see. My goodness, she looks great. So this is the comic. This is Uncanny X-Men number 135. This is the one where she finally like just kind of cracked and became the Dark Phoenix, which is it was so cool, man. Defeated by Dark Phoenix. I love this cover. It's one of my favorite covers ever. So this is the issue where after Jean had been captured by the Hellfire Club, and her mind had been manipulated by Jason Weingard, Mastermind, into believing that she was like in the 18th century or something, and he was her husband, and she was being controlled by the Hellfire Club. The minute where she broke free of that, she didn't go back to being Jean. She became the Dark Phoenix. Like she finally like experience the joys of like of being bad, you know, like just uh, the she experienced things that she had never experienced before, and she kind of got drunk on them and like wanted to experience them more, and just like and just started killing and being like this terrible like uh, force that's destructive. But whereas before, you know, Jean had the phoenix inside of her, and you know, Jean was like using her for good, and Jean is a good person, so she was experiencing all the sort of good feelings that one experiences from, you know, just doing good deeds and being a superhero. Um, but something about what her experience, what she experienced in the Hellfire Club, kind of drove her to like, you know, just want to sort of experience like passions and joys of destruction and killing. And so she went crazy. She leaves Earth after like this huge battle and like destroys the solar system. And that's when the Shi'ar sort of realizes, oh my God, the Phoenix is the Dark Phoenix. It is destroying worlds, solar systems. It could destroy a galaxy. It could destroy the universe. We have to destroy her. And that's when the Shi'ar gets involved and decides, you know what, we got to go to Earth and kill her. And so after Jean returns to Earth as the Dark Phoenix, actually in this issue, hello, another really awesome and iconic X-Men issue, of course revolving around the Dark Phoenix saga. This is the issue in which she's been neutralized finally, and is actually allows Jean, the Jean part of her personality, to kind of take back control temporarily of her body and of her mind. And this is sort of the moment that transitions the story into the final chapter, in which, you know, there's like the final battle on the moon between the Shi'ar and the X-Men. And, you know, spoiler alert, I'm sorry, like 1980s or 1970s, which one was it? One of the two. 1980. This is actually 1980, August 1980. 1980, spoiler alert, Cyclops has to kill Jean. So he does. Fortunately, as we all know, Jean did not die. And I'm not going to go into the details of that because there's just been too many spoilers given to you now, you know, 33 years after the fact. I don't want to ruin more stuff that you know, maybe haven't learned as an X-Men fan in 33 years. You should have learned it. Okay, this is what happened. Jean, it turns out Jean was never possessed by the Phoenix, or maybe she was temporarily, but the Phoenix put her in this kind of incubation under the ocean, and the whole time that Jean was Phoenix and Jean became the Dark Phoenix, and then Jean was killed, that whole time period was actually had Jean herself in an incubation under the ocean in, I think, New York Harbor. So Jean was fine, and thus she was able to come back later in X Factor, and everything was okay, sort of, maybe. Spoilers galore, obviously, in this video. I hope nobody's mad at me, but you shouldn't be, because if you are mad at me, then you're still living in like 1980, and you should probably catch up with time. All right, so the statue itself, the base is kind of like a translucent, like a resin. It's not completely translucent, but it's enough where, you know, you get a nice effect if you put it in the right light, and you can like light it in particular ways to sort of, you know, take advantage of the quality of it, which kind of gives it a, you know, like a fiery sort of quality, which is really nice. The actual paint on the statue is very nice. The statue itself, Jean, it's got like that glossy look to the red, which is beautiful. It really makes her stand out, and kind of gives her that, like, you know, larger than life quality that you need in a statue of a character that is so larger than life, that has so much presence and like gravitas and just importance, you know, in the X-Men canon and in just comics in general. So everything was done superbly well. Like, all the gold parts are, you know, actually have kind of like a metallic gold quality to them, just again giving her like that extra special sort of touch, which, you know, this character needs. The yellow Firebird on her chest, super nice, very nicely done, like a matte yellow color, but really stands out nicely. I hear that yellow is a really hard color to paint, so I mean, just the fact that they were able to pull it off so well is again a testament to Bowen Designs and their production capacity. superb, guys. Her face, you know, very nice. The shade on her skin, the lipstick, the teeth, the whited out eyes. Love it all. Perfect. Hair, beautiful, red, kind of like orangey red hair. Looks great. The design of the hair is really nice. Everything is perfect. This is a perfect statue. It's the perfect Dark Phoenix statue. I hear that Sideshow Collectibles might be making a Dark Phoenix statue and a Phoenix statue, like a variant of it. Um, I have high hopes for it, even though Sideshow tends to be hit and miss. I have high hopes for it. I've seen images of it, of sort of the concepts, and it looks really cool. So they could actually wind up making a 1/4 scale Dark Phoenix that may actually rival this one, but you know that has yet to be seen. That has yet to be seen. So this statue itself was actually produced in two versions. The other version is basically Jean in the green and yellow Phoenix as sort of the good Phoenix colors. It's exactly the same statue. That's different. The base is different. It's kind of like it's her emerging from the water, which is how she was originally introduced, Jean, as the Phoenix. She emerged from the water when the space shuttle that they were landing, that had the X-Men in it, were landing when she was trying to land it in the New York harbor, and she was possessed by the Phoenix, in quotes, and then she emerges from there, in that green and yellow outfit. Just beautiful, and the base is really nice on that one. I'll be featuring that one very soon, but um, the thing about that one is that I think this was like early on in Bowen Designs is sort of like in the production history via the Marvel license, and so I think they did a great job, and I love everything they did, but I think they could have spent a little more time kind of making her a little more Jean and a little less Dark Phoenix. Like the hair could have been slightly different. The face could have looked a little more angelic, maybe, just to kind of represent the fact that she's still Jean and she's like good. She's a force for good, unlike the Dark Phoenix. But really, it's a great statue. I love having it. I have it in my 70s X-Men display, and it looks great. So I don't actually have complaints about it, but people have mentioned that it would have been nice for her to actually have had eyes in that one. Just kind of make her look like good rather than kind of still kind of evil. So it's actually not as good of a statue as this one, but it is a great statue. If you're able to get it, go after it. And it's interesting. You have probably actually coming up. I've got a post coming up in the next week or so. And right now it's like April of 2013, the end of April. So maybe early May. I have a post coming up of X Factor Jean, which was produced last year, or like a year and a half ago. And that is actually a variant of this statue as well. But with that one, Randy did make the choice to resculpt the hair and kind of make the face a little different and draw in the eyes. So although it's exactly the same, like basically the same statue, the same like figure, the body's the same, the face is a little different. It actually works really nice. The base is different as well. It's all actually a very nice piece, and it actually came out very well. And I'll be featuring that one very soon. So there's definitely a lot to look forward to as far as like the variants of this statue. But again, like even though that one is actually really nice too, and I actually like that one a lot, this is definitely the winner when it comes to this version of the statue. I mean, you can just see like there's just every detail of it is like super impressive. It's just like it is the Dark Phoenix, and it evokes fear. I'm afraid of it. I'm afraid of how much I love it, really. I am afraid of that because she's an inanimate object, but I'm in love with her, so I'm afraid of that love. Another great so we've got the comics and of course the statue, but like the 90s cartoon, the 90s X-Men cartoon, although it wasn't exactly the story that sort of played out in the original comics in the early 80s and the late 70s, like they did such a great job with the Dark Phoenix saga and the Phoenix saga. The difference was that they kind of put that story into like the Jim Lee era, so it kind of had Gambit, Rogue, Jubilee in there, and And the resolution of the story was slightly different, but they did such a great job with like first the original 5 episode Phoenix Saga story arc, which was great. Like they do all sorts. They introduced Dazzler, that was a really great episode, and then they introduced the Shi'ar and like Gladiator and Lilandra, and then they go like and then there's like Daken, Emperor Daken, like the megalomaniacal head of the Shi'ar Empire, who wanted the M'Kraan crystal, the super powerful crystal that can affect reality, and and somehow he's able to like create like start like this destroying like the barrier between our reality and the M'Kraan crystal reality. So everybody gets sucked into the M'Kraan crystal, which is really cool. It was all done really nicely, and then there's like this really great battle inside the M'Kraan crystal. The animation was like spectacular, and then just the whole story, the way it played out really nicely, and the animation was great. Then you fast forward a few episodes after that, and then you start the Dark Phoenix saga, and you have the Hellfire Club, and you have Jean as the Dark Phoenix, and like everything was great. It was so good. Those are probably the 9 best episodes of the X-Men series in the 90s, if you ask me. And you haven't, but I'm telling you, I think it's the best episodes of the 90s television series that was produced of the X-Men. Chime in on that, guys. If you have different opinions on it, make some comments about it. If you don't, if you agree with me, also, say something about it. It'd be interesting to get some feedback on these things. But definitely, in my mind, those are sort of like the quintessentially best episodes that were produced in the 90s television series, by far. They're just so good. And they introduced this story to just a whole new generation of fans that, probably weren't even aware of this story to begin with. But we're able to get like, just such a great treatment of it. And unfortunately, they try to do it in the films, and like Bryan Singer built up to a Dark Phoenix story, with X-Men 1 and X-Men 2, but then he left to go do Superman Returns, and then Brett Ratner came in and just kind of butchered it, like kind of made the Dark Phoenix kind of like a subplot that was like not important. Oh God. And then it was just such a disappointment. It's just one of those things that's just like super disappointing, but potentially there might be a saving grace if Bryan Singer's Days of Future Past, does really well, which I'm sure it will, because I have a feeling it's going to be like one of these like impressive like sort of gems of like not just cinema, but not just like Marvel cinema and comic book cinema, but cinema in general. Because Bryan Singer is like a true filmmaker. He went to USC Film School. I actually went there as well, and the guy knows what he's doing, and he's gonna make a great movie, and it's gonna have Sentinels in it. It's gonna be awesome, and people are gonna love it. So maybe with that movie, in which there's gonna be time travel, and maybe the time stream gets realigned, maybe that'll kind of allow the story to kind of veer into an alternate reality where X3 never happened, and then Bryan Singer can actually do the Dark Phoenix thing that maybe they were planning to do. I hope so. That would be so cool. I would love that so much. Please let that happen, movie gods. Anyway, that pretty much covers everything that has to do with this statue and everything related to the character of the Dark Phoenix. As far as like what I can recall right now, and as far as probably what you guys can tolerate. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the blog post. And thank you once again for your attention, for checking stuff out. My blog is xmenstatuesoffuturepast.blogspot.com. My YouTube channel is Dr. Remy LeBeau. That is the official name, but Dr. Remy LeBeau's X-Lair is the unofficial name. And I have plenty more stuff to show you, so stay tuned. And as always, X in the box, because ain't nobody checking me. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.